Hi, everybody. So to finish off what I was trying to say, 1 4/10 would be equal to 1 40 hundredths. We see because every 10 little squares, 10 hundredths, make 1/10. 10 of these columns make up one grid, and 100 of these tiny squares make up one grid. All right, so that little dotted zero, the kids understand that that means that 4/10 and 40 hundredths are equal. Starting on this side, I already went ahead and put in some sample answers because I wanted to go ahead and show how a place value chart would be written. So in the very first place, as a refresher, we see, we've used those model grids. Now we're writing comparison statements, but I also want you to take it a step further. So we're going to put ones. We're going to make a place value chart ones. Decimal right there does not get its own column. And then here, we understand that T is for tenths. So if we want to put THS up here, that can be abbreviated for tenths, hundredths here. So we see 1.34 represents Tom when the question is who jumped farther between Tom and Steve. So 1.34 versus Steve's 43 hundredths. 1/43 hundredths. We see clearly that the 4 is the higher in the tenths place. So disregard that, of course. The highest place value column remaining after the ones is the tenths. So we see Steve jump farther. Eventually, you get very quick at making these place value charts, just like the students do. Ones, tenths, hundredths. So for Tom versus Geo, who jumped farther between the two? Tom is 1 34 hundredths. Geo is 1 4/10. So if you're not sure off the top of the head, 1.4 can be for Geo. Remember that dotted zero indicates that 1.4 is the same as 1.40. This is 1.34. We see now that Geo jumped farther because in your tenths place, again, your ones place is the same. So your tenths place has a higher digit here. 1.4 is greater. Geo jumped farther. Now between Steve and Geo, the championship round, we see that Steve's 1.43 is higher than 1.4. So by now, experts at drawing this place value chart, one's tenths, hundredths. So we have 1.43 versus 1.4, and then if you're not sure, we see in the ones place they're the same digit, same in the tenths place. Here we have a 0. Remember, so 43 hundredths is going to be greater than 40 hundredths. Therefore, 1 meter and 43 hundredths is greater than 1 meter and 4/10. Steve is greater than Geo. So down here, we have a little challenge. So Mitch jumped a distance between Steve and Geo. How far could he have jumped? Steve's, if you recall, was I should start with Geo. I see that he's the lower one, 1.40 all the way to 1.43 to represent for Steve. So we have to figure out what could go in between. If this is 1.40 and this is 1.43, we can realize that it could be this, or it could be that. 1.40, 1.41, 1.42, 1.43. It could be either of these. And then how do you know? Because they are the distances in between. For part B, we have Alex jumped a distance between Tom and Geo. How far could he have jumped? How do you know? So just like before, we want to go back up here. Okay, 1.34 and 1.4. So we're going to put the smaller value in front. And just on this imaginary timeline, 1.40 would be back here. So let's figure out what goes in between 34 and between 40. So we know 1.35 and so on. Oops, I'm going to run out of room. 1.38 and no matter. 1